Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Reed Option, welcoming you to this afternoon's broadcast of the NAGA. Here we have the Wichita Wranglers facing off against the Memphis Liberty. Looks like the experts say Wichita has the upper hand, but it is a split 50-50 as far as the chances go. So let's get right into it. Past few games, Memphis unfortunately falling to 1-3, having a pretty rough schedule, facing Raleigh twice, Virginia Beach once, getting a win over Omaha in Omaha. Wichita going 2-2, winning against Sacramento last week, facing off against St. Louis next week. So tough opponent who'll be coming off of a loss. Let's get right into the kickoff, as Torrey Wade will field it. Torrey Wade up to the left side, shoving off the defender, shoving off another one, seeing daylight, riding the edge, making it all the way down to the 40. Your eyes do not deceive you, ladies and gentlemen. That is Torrey Wade, former Iowa Storm receiver, giving the Liberty great field position to start this game. Weathers motioning his man, dropping back to pass, looking at his open man in the middle, and that, ladies and gentlemen, is Marquise Collins, top 5 rusher. He was also recently acquired from the Raleigh Royals. This past week, Memphis, the owner, has made quite a few transactions, the owner being Nick, leader of the Memphis Liberty. This week they acquired left guard Sam Webb, cornerback Russell Lambert, free safety Jalen Pinkerton, wide receiver Torrey Wade, running back Marquise Collins, wide receiver Brendan Baker, defensive end James Chandler, strong safety Kendarius Holiday, as well as a slew of first and second and fourth and sixth round picks, while giving away their center Jonathan Rice, running back Michael Newbold, their other starting running back Kenny Matlock, a first rounder that they acquired in another trade, defensive end Keontae Maddox, wide receiver Shakir Burns, and strong safety Kyrell Trotter. The owner completely switching up his approach to the season after going 1-3, clearly trying to make a push for the playoffs. And here on their opening drive, they will see 3 points on the board, as Bueller will send it straight through the uprights for a 38-yarder. In an interview I had with the owner, Nick, I asked him what sparked the changes that he made and how he plans on utilizing these decisions. And he said, and I quote, "It started when I saw the lack of offensive production and the horrible clock control. I knew I had to make changes now so that way we improve sooner. Trading players for more rather than quality can work out. And that path to me has worked out," is what he says. So we'll see how they do against number 1 overall quarterback David Krutzer, who has the highest quarterback rating and is leading this second best passing offense in the NAGA, dishing it out to Lopez. Alex Lopez for a few. This Wichita offense is the 4th best, second best passing offense. They have the 4th best points per game. They are tied second in their division as far as win-loss. We'll get a first down there. Nice little dish out to Calvin Cousins. This Wichita team has had a pretty great year, but away so far they're 0-1. So they've yet to win on the road, and Memphis, sporting their alternates today, are 7-1 at home, going 6-0 in Season 1, having a dominant season. That pass being defended by Tremaine Ball. This Memphis defense, 9th best, 8th best passing defense, going up against this all-star offense. We will have a 3rd down here. And Krutzer will see what he can do. Kreutzer. Kreutzer will see what he can do. Motioning the receiver. 3 wide receiver set. Dropping back. Pressured. Hit as he threw. Intercepted! And that will once again be Ball on the interception. Tremaine Ball making the plays today for the Memphis Liberty. Memphis being a dominant team in this league last season, coming up short so far. But to Brendan Baker, their newly acquired receiver from Virginia Beach, getting them a huge reception inside the 20. As I was saying, last season, they were first in the East at 9-3. They lost to Austin in a blowout in the conference final, surprising many after Austin beat San Antonio in the divisional. Weathers leading the offense, taking it for himself for a gain of roughly 6. That'll be 2nd and 4. Memphis clearly, after falling short, the owner knew what he had to do. He sees the potential in his team, now having the 5th best rusher and 5th best passer on the same team. And there he is, Marquise Collins, catching it for the first down. Jalen Weathers athletically being probably the best quarterback in the NAGA. And he is the man to beat. This defense can't seem to stop him. But they will stop Will Livingston, the fullback, for a loss. That was Ricky Thornton on the stop there. 2nd down and goal. Fullback out to the left. We will have a flag. Looks like left guard Sam Webb jumped a little early. When you get a little too close to the end zone, you know, everyone gets antsy. Especially as Memphis has an opportunity to go up 2 scores. Right here on 2nd down. Collins out to the right, into the end zone for the touchdown. Marquise Collins. Marquise Collins making his impression on the league. He has been talked about in Offensive Player of the Year conversations. And being on this Memphis team is going to do nothing but bolster that. Memphis with a healthy team. 3 other people returning from injuries today. Tight end Andrew Moore coming back from a knee injury. Defensive end Stephen Glasgow from a head injury. And although he wasn't injured while he was on their team, Portland Grizzlies Kendarius Holiday, who got traded here to the Liberty this past week, he is returning from a leg injury. Wichita, on the other hand, quite the opposite. They have 3 missing members. Inside linebacker David Oladabi, wide receiver Bobby Warner, and cornerback Cedarius Burton. All those guys out until at least a week or 2 from now. We will not see Burton until the playoffs if Wichita makes it in. Kreutzer on the 1st down. Looks like we might have an offsides as he's being pressured, and he will be sacked. But it'll be called back as defensive end James Chandler was indeed offsides. And Khalil Brown's sack will not count. The handoff to Cousins. And Cousins will get the 1st down. Calvin Cousins from Atlanta, Georgia. 3 for 20 on the day. He's got 5 men alone in the backfield. Kreutzer looking to his left, finding Alexander. That is Eugene Alexander. Round 1, pick 12 in this past season's draft. Wichita already being an expansion team. Looks like they've got a lot of talent. Currently, they do sit in the playoff picture as we are over halfway through the season. We'll see if they can win here today in Memphis, being down 2 scores. Cousins not quite getting that 1st down. Once again, Cousins out to the right. He will be flattened into the ground, but not before getting the first down. That was Adrian Atkins on the tackle. I formation, Wranglers. Kreutzer down the middle, almost getting picked off there as it went through the hands of the receiver. Looked like Kadarius Holiday on the defense. Kreutzer only 4 for 7 today with interception. Very uncharacteristic. This Memphis Liberty rejuvenated defense is bringing something out in this Wichita offense that we have not seen yet this season. These guys have never scored under 20 points in a game. We'll see if that streak will be broken today. Week 1 scoring 40, 2 scoring 24, 3 scoring 27 in that loss in overtime, and Week 4 scoring 31. These guys have not scored less than 24 points. So Kreutzer and the Wranglers looking to keep that streak alive. Malone hurdling a guy, breaking a tackle, finally being brought down by Arthur. No, Arthur Dyson committed the penalty. He was brought down by James Chandler. It's like they'll decline it in favor of slightly better field position. Another handoff to Malone. He will not be able to make it for even a yard. Jarvis Malone, the Chattanooga graduate, staying in the game here for the Wranglers. And he will not quite get a touchdown. What a stop by this defense. I don't know if I missed it, but I believe Calvin Cousins may be injured. I saw Durashay's name, Emmanuel Durashay, and that might not be something that Wichita Wranglers fans would like to see right here in the first quarter. Adam Ruppert easily getting the 3 points there. A little chip in from 18 yards, but you hate to see that from your star running back out so early. Running backs have been a commodity this season. A lot of running backs getting hurt, sidelining themselves for half the game. So, you know, it's a rough world for running backs here in the NAGA and, of course, in the NFL as well. Whether it be contract issues or injury issues, running backs may have one of the hardest jobs in professional football. Jalen Weathers looking fantastic today, 6 for 7 with 63 yards. Here he is putting himself alone in the backfield. Sees the blitz, throws out to the right, couldn't quite haul it in. Intended for Andrew Moore. Andrew Moore just now coming back from an injury. Tweaked his knee. Another target to Moore, and he will catch it this time. And get twisted down there by Lamar Draper. And that'll be the end of the first. Memphis still up by one score. 10-3. Flag looks like Raheem Dobson, the false start. Again, this Memphis offense getting a little excited as they get close to the end zone. Weathers dropping back to pass, looking deep. Once again intended for Moore, incomplete. Double coverage there. Now I asked the owner, Nick, I said, you know, you're facing off against a potential MVP, David Kreutzer. But Weathers has the upside of MVP if, you know, things go right. I asked him what he sees when he sees Jalen Weathers. Jalen Weathers will see a touchdown. Oh, but it'll be called back for Raheem Dobson with the holding. It's like Cousins will return from injury, as Wichita fans will sigh a breath of relief. As I was saying, Nick responded when being questioned about his quarterback. He said he sees a great player who has not thrown a pick all season. Not sure if that's correct, but he says at least he hasn't thrown a pick all season. You know, if he has and it wasn't his fault, he says he has the utmost amount of faith in Jalen Weathers. And he would have had a touchdown right there if not for that holding call. He's making all the right decisions today. Hasn't been sacked yet. Go. Weathers, deep to the right. Couldn't be brought in. I believe that was intended for Brendan Baker. Yes, it was. And they will settle for the field goal, still being up by 2 scores. And that 57-yarder is good. Casey Bueller, representing the fine people of Topeka, Kansas. With that 57-yarder, that might be close to a league record. Braxton on the return, not even making it up to the 20. He was brought down by Adrian Atkins on that return. Wranglers, pistol formation. Kreutzer dropping back, quickly dishing it out to Green. Havon Green will gain 7 there. Kreutzer, like many great quarterbacks, likes to mix it up. Throws it to many different targets. And he can think fast as he avoids the sack there. Finding wide receiver Alex Lopez. 3rd and 1. And Cousins, the reliable back today, will get them another first. Wichita not doing too bad on 3rd down so far this game, about 50% on their 3rd down attempts. Hike. As they continue this drive, Kreutzer throwing it deep to a wide open Malcolm Braxton for a touchdown. And the Wranglers stay in this game with a quick response. And after the point, we will have a 3-point lead by Memphis. Their lead at once at 10 points being reduced to 3. What a play there by the Wranglers. Memphis has to be quick to respond. You know, Jalen Weathers seeing a few incompletions on that drive. Have to use Marquise Collins, their star rusher that they newly acquired. I actually asked Nick, the owner, about, you know, how it affects their game plan now that they acquired Marquise Collins. And he said that, you know, he runs a West Coast offense. He knows a younger guy can work well, and that's why he got Marquise. And he said, you know, this week he'll show that his offense can be dynamic and that his trade that sent away Kenny Matlock was worth it. And so far we have been seeing a taste of that. Collins 2 for 14 with 4 receptions, mostly being a receiving back. Getting a touchdown also today. Liberty getting the first with Collins. Rushing them when they need to. I'm sure for any Memphis fans who have been asleep the past week not checking ESPN or any other sports networks that cover the NAGA. Sure, it's surprising seeing all these new faces on your team, you know? Acquiring 8 pieces, giving away 6, getting a lot of picks in exchange for very little. Third down, Memphis. We'll see if they can convert again here. Weathers out to Bird, and Bird will bring it up to the 50. Through all the trades and whatnot, you know, Isaiah Bird, super young back out of Arkansas, has shown to be a very good receiving back as well. And he's wide open down the middle, and I stand corrected on the reception for that one. Looks like the communication wasn't there as he twisted himself kind of awkwardly. Weathers dropping back to pass again, finding Moore. And Moore will work his way up to the 20. Being brought down by Malik Muhammad. I formation at the 20. The handoff to Livingston, who sheds the tackler. Then being immediately brought down by Thornton. Ricky Thornton seeing a lot of the action on defense here today. That was Livingston's second rush attempt. He is not on the field right now. Tight end in motion, play action. Finds a man in the back of the end zone, but looks like he was already out of bounds by the time the ball got to him. Surprised he didn't take it for himself and run there. Andrew Moore was just a little too far out of the back of the end zone. It's like we got Wade and Baker here for the receivers, but he throws it to Collins, who brings it in for the 1st and goal. Great play call there by Jalen Weathers. 12 for 19, most of those incompletions being on the past 2 drives. We may see a touchdown here as Weathers looks to pass again, and he'll take it for himself up to the left, extends for the touchdown, puts his body on the line and the team on his back. Jalen Weathers putting the team up once again by 10 as the Liberty will be leading by 2 scores with less than half of the second quarter to go. Although for the past couple weeks, the sponsors have been pretty diverse. Last week and this week, our banners seem to be dominated by one of 2 sponsors, today being Vitamin Water Zero Sugar. Not an official sponsor of the NAGA, but they seem to have bought out the billboards here in Tennessee today. So, shout out to Vitamin Water Zero Sugar. Not a sponsor. I actually am a personal fan of Vitamin Water. I love their, I think it's dragon fruit flavor. It's really good. Alexander there on the reception for the 1st. Not quite making his way out of bounds. And the clock will keep ticking. Kreutzer 8 for 11. Made up a little bit of ground from his dismal first 2 or 3 drives. Bringing the stat line back and getting a touchdown. Rolling out to his left, throwing it away. Not drawing the intentional grounding flag as he rolled out of the pocket there. Kreutzer not necessarily a rushing quarterback. Reminds me of Ben Roethlisberger in a way. Hands it off to Cousins. Cousins reaching for a little extra yards there. We'll have another 3rd down. Let's see if they can convert once again here. And this is a surprising formation to see on 3rd and short. 5 wide receivers. Kreutzer dropping back, seeing the pressure and finding Lopez. Thinking quickly there. Alex Lopez once again on the reception. Nice young receiving core for the Wichita Wranglers. Most of them being 25 and under. As opposed to Kreutzer, who is quite experienced in, has played a lot in other leagues. 31 years old. Born in Kansas. Went to college at Nebraska. And here we'll have the 2-minute warning and another 3rd down. Wichita eating up a lot of clock. Knowing they get the ball at halftime. Probably want to score late here. Cousins, interesting decision-making there. Brings up the 4th and 1. Could have extended for the 1st. Not sure why he decided to change directions. And they will bring out the kicking unit. Adam Ruppert. Just left. 54-yard field goal. He had the leg. He had the room. But he just pulled a little to the left. Not sure how much of a breeze is here today in Memphis. But it looks like the lead remains 2 scores. And Livingston with the reception. Livingston seeing a lot of action today. Love to see the dynamic play calling from the coach. Very impressive so far that they're up by 10 points. It's such a great team that Wichita has. Another dish out to the sideline to Collins. And another 1st down for the Liberty. I'm personally a fan of these alternate uniforms. I feel like these guys might need to make them their permanents. It's like might have a free play here. And Finch doesn't care about the free play. Will get a 1st down. They will decline that. And the clock will stay put at 1:21. That reception by Theo Finch. 15 yards, his 1st on the day. Weathers dropping back once again, looking to his right. Intended for Moore, who has not caught many of his targets today. Still looking a little rusty coming back from that injury. I bet you Jack Whitaker is on the sidelines just itching to get back in. Weathers to Moore. Bringing it in this time, but won't get out of bounds. And Memphis will let the clock tick on 3rd down. Weathers motioning Bailey. Driving back to pass, looking deep. Off the fingertips of Brendan Baker. He's being pressured there. Not Weathers, Baker. Being bodied down the field on that contested catch. We will have Bueller kick it straight through. 49-yarder. Still a 2-score lead. Less than a minute to go here in the half. 23-10. Braxton fielding it from his own end zone. Not even able to break a tackle there. Only making it up to the 18. And I would not be surprised to see Wichita burn their timeouts and try to do a 2-minute drill. Get a touchdown here before the half comes to a close. Kreutzer to his right. Eugene Alexander will work his way out of bounds. Oh, devastation for Wichita, as that play will get called back due to a holding penalty. Working from inside their own 10. Kreutzer with 5 receivers. Motions his man. dropping back into his own end zone. Looks like Memphis is playing prevent. And Alexander will make it up to the 21. And they will let the clock tick. Might not want to waste the energy. I imagine the coach is planning on not doing anything stupid before the half ends. And Ryan Clayton will get brought down on what looks like the final play of the half. Memphis up 23-10 as we enter the second half here today. Now, those of you who are also coaches who are watching might not be terribly surprised at the results here, given that, you know, maybe you think the Memphis trades worked out for the better. Can't believe I didn't even get excited for that. Braxton working it up to the 42. But Wichita coming into this week looked like the better team. And their owner, Nick, the Memphis Liberty owner, he recognizes that, you know, they're fighting an uphill battle this season. They're 1-3. You know, if they didn't win this week, you know, that's 1-4. You're not making the playoffs, really. You know, so I asked him about turning it around, you know, and what he has to do to turn around, knowing that the league's eyes are all on him. And in his opinion, after making all these moves and looking at the schedule for the rest of the season, he says the only team he really has to worry about is Albuquerque after this week. He believes that his doubleheader against Baton Rouge will be a piece of cake and that they'll get a playoff spot as long as they win today. And so far, their defense is sharing the same mindset as the coach, making sure they get that win with that third down stoppage by Rivera. Clevenger on the punt, and it'll be a touchback. And Memphis will have it from the 20. Memphis could run away with the victory here. They get a touchdown on this drive, although crazier things have happened. But it would put them up by 3 scores. Wouldn't be surprised to see a 2-point conversion if they get it. Collins to the left. He'll be abruptly brought down by Thornton, who apparently dragged him down by the face mask. Automatic first down up to the 38. Wichita having the 10th best total defense, the 4th best rush defense, and that makes sense. They haven't been able to get a lot going on the ground, but in the air, Torrey Wade getting the first down there. They do not have the best pass defense, and the Liberty are picking it apart. Memphis having the 7th best passing offense. Very seldom rushing it, as Livingston got a gain of 5 on that play. Weathers dropping back to pass. Down the middle, almost getting picked off there. It looks like Thompson. Solomon Thompson, the left guard, will go out for the rest of the game. And Andre Plaisance will come in at left guard. Yes, at left guard. Looks like Sam Webb is the center. My apologies. He was left guard on Salt Lake City, but they reassigned him to center. Bet they kind of wish they didn't. Andre Plaisance now in at left guard. Great punt there by George Cashman, downing it at the 14. And Wichita will have a chance to even things out a little bit more here in the third. Kreutzer, open man on his left, and Cousins will go out of bounds before getting blown up by the defense. I believe that was Jaleel Marion that was about to blow him up there. Once again, pass to the left, but this time in the dirt. Third down for Wichita. Still about 50% of their third down conversions today. Let's see if they can do it here. Kreutzer out to his right, hauled in by Alexander. Reliable receiver today, although some of his biggest plays were called back. Three plays, all passing for the Wranglers. It looks like they'll probably look to pass again. Kreutzer taking it for himself up the middle. Talk about subverting expectations. Not too terribly often you see Kreutzer trying to run it. Again, reminding me of Ben Roethlisberger. One rush for 7 yards. By the star-studded quarterback. And Kreutzer will go deep for Lopez. Huge reception there. Flipping sides of the field. Inside the 30. Alex Lopez. Wide receiver 4. Alex Lopez on the huge reception there. Cousins almost seeing daylight. Looks like Adrian Atkins broke a block, but I think he just grabbed him by the face mask as he was going down. Trying to multitask there. That'll give up the down and another 5 yards. Calvin Cousins, 80 all-purpose yards on the day. Kreutzer with time. End zone. Braxton, touchdown. Touchdown Wranglers. To wide receiver 1, Malcolm Braxton. And with this extra point by Ruppert, Memphis now only has a 6-point lead. Still anyone's game here, halfway through the third quarter. And Ruppert will kick it right back off. Wade on the return from the 3. Tries to work his way up the middle, but only finds his way up to the 23. Weathers handing it off to Collins up the middle for a decent gain there of 8. Up to the 31. I'm saying all this, a lot of times I try to calculate, oh, he gained this many yards, this many yards. And a lot of times I'm wrong. Just like, announcers for leagues like the NFL, XFL, USFL. But, shout out to the game we're watching, Axis 24, the next iteration. Trailer just dropped on the internet, by the way. Go check it out. After each play, you will see a little graphic pop up underneath your team's name that says how many yards you just gained or lost, or if you gained none at all on the play. Very nice user interface improvements in Axis 24, as well as a lot of gameplay improvements. The next season of the North American Gridiron Association will be run on Axis 24, and we are very excited to see how it turns out. Weathers to Bird. Bird up the sideline, makes it past the 50. Down to the 43. And Marquise Collins will find his way back into the game. Bird, although not terribly great at rushing, a lot of receiving yards today on the few targets he's had. Weathers deciding to get rid of it. Second down. Two wide receivers. Weathers, play action. Down the middle, Torrey Wade broke the defender's ankles. He was finally brought down by Davion Conley, the former Bulldog in college. Weathers with time. Wide open, Torrey Wade. Touchdown. And Memphis will take back that lead after 7 plays. Wasting no time getting the lead back. And Bueller will make it 30. A little bit of a revenge game today. Not really noted yet. Linebacker Montrell Douglas, formerly on Memphis about 2 weeks ago. He was already off of Memphis last week. He was traded to Wichita for a 5th round pick. I'm not sure how much field he has seen so far today, but I'm looking at the player sheet here, and he should be playing today, although he has not made really any plays. So, little, side quests, little side story there. Revenge game for Montrell Douglas. Calvin Cousins will get a gain of 7 there. 2nd down and 3. Kreutzer out to his right, chucking it deep, but it couldn't be brought in by Craig Westmoreland. Name hardly fits on the jersey. Tight end Westmoreland. And Cousins will fight his way for the first. Looks like he dragged Lamar Gray with him. Kreutzer, shotgun formation, handing it off to Cousins to the outside, breaking the first tackle. Eventually being brought down by Stephen Glasgow. Kreutzer in shotgun, this time to Malone. And that play call was read. Great read by Brandon Ellis, the defensive tackle. You can tell he watches tape, and you can tell he was fully expecting that play, as it pretty much mirrored the play they did before. Cousins trying to regain ground, 4th and inches. Will they go for it in their own territory here in the 3rd quarter? They will not. They will not risk it. And not George Cashman, this is Clevenger. Jimmy Clevenger will kick it into the end zone. And this is exactly what Memphis wants. They want to seal away this game and stop stressing out so much, but the fans are still on the edge of their seats. Deep pass intended for the tight end once again. Andrew Moore cannot bring it in. And I believe most of those 12 incompletions are intended passes for Moore. 267 yards on the day for Weathers. Play action. Out to his right, Torrey Wade. Gain of 5 there. All right, to get a little drink of water. Not sure if you guys could hear the echo, the inside of my glass water bottle. Also not a sponsor, but this bottle by Water Drop is it's really fancy. Recommend looking them up. A lot of brand sponsors that are not actually sponsors. They are not sponsors. Disclaimer. I just really like my Water Drop glass bottle. Cashman on the punt, and this one will be fielded by Brooks. Brooks cutting to the inside, but will essentially get tackled by the shins by Brendan Baker. And Wichita will seek to capitalize on Memphis's failure to capitalize, and will gain 6 yards there. Working their way up almost to midfield. They're pretty much where they were on the last drive. And that'll be the end of the 3rd quarter. Memphis up by 13 points. As we start off the 4th, 2nd and 4 for the Wranglers. And like I always say, crazier things have happened in real life and here in the NAGA. And there it is. Another huge reception by Malcolm Braxton. That should be the game plan here for the Wranglers. Target Malcolm Braxton. Kreutzer with a lot of yards regained here in the second half. Completion to Westmoreland. And this Wranglers offense is on fire right now. I'd go no huddle if I were them. Westmoreland on his first reception on the day. Looks like we might see a run play here to mix things up. And we will. Cousins stepping over the first tackler. Brought down by Jorge Rivera. Sorry, it was taking me a while to find his name on the sheet. Cousins out to the left, tackled for a loss. And Marion quick to make his way to him. And Jarvis Malone will be subbed in. Single back formation. Kreutzer with the handoff to Malone. Up to the left. He will find his way up to the 10-yard line. As Calvin Cousins will re-enter the game. Cousins out to the left. Won't find his first down that he wanted. But will they go for it? Down by 2 touchdowns, essentially. No reason to bring out the kicking unit. All right. You know, interesting play call there. And he misses the 23-yard field goal. Oh, that is how you lose your job. Adam Ruppert. The Penn State kicker missing the easy field goal. And Memphis will have the opportunity to just waste the clock. 2nd and 1 after that. Marquise Collins rush up the middle. Unbelievable. And they will literally and figuratively run this game out. That should have been forward progress. But regardless, even though it's a 3rd down, that actually gives them more time and more opportunities to just run this clock down. I am just... And of course, the penalties don't help anything. Face mask on the tackle by Tristan Johnson. Wow. I see shotgun formation, but yeah, I'm expecting to run Jalen Weathers up the middle. Don't hurt yourself there, bud. It is late in the game. Second down, Liberty. Boyd in motion. Weathers dropping back to pass. Finding Baker down the middle on the cross route. They will have another first down, and the clock will keep ticking. Wichita getting brought down by the new beast. The newfound, energy and motivation that has been found and sparked within this Liberty team has made Wichita look like every other team in the league. You know, they couldn't score more than 24 points. You know, the game's not over, but they broke that. You know, you see a very uncommon Kreutzer interception. Although they're still doing great on their rush defense. And there's Montrell Douglas making a play in his revenge game late here in the 4th quarter. But although Wichita isn't, they're not the best team in the league by any measure, but it's just crazy to see the effect that this reconstructed Memphis Liberty team has on Wichita. I mean, if things continue as they're looking, Memphis will be 8-1 at home. Their only loss at home against Omaha and the Spartans. That was a tough loss. Lost by 8, 35-27 in week 2. Looks like it is just hard to win here in Tennessee. Weathers handing it off to Collins. Collins up to the left, cutting in. Tackle after a gain of 2. Looks like that was Lamar Draper. 10 plays here, you know. They burned over 3 minutes off the clock. We only have 10-minute quarters in the NAGA. Oh, couldn't get the first down there. Wichita might get the ball back. Andrew Moore just couldn't bring it in once again. And we will see, previously mistakenly mentioned, George Cashman. And he'll just boot that thing into the back of the end zone. Touchback. You have 2 2-minute drills here, potentially, Wichita. Don't waste them by running the ball. Throw it to your playmakers. Kreutzer in shotgun, taking it for himself. Looking to subvert expectations again. But this time, Brown could see it coming from a mile away. Great stop by Khalil Brown. Calvin Cousins will do his best, and it'll be 3rd down already. Khalil Brown was a preseason acquisition from the Virginia Beach Mariners. Lot of potential in that kid from Liberty. Graduated from Liberty, ends up on a team called the Liberty. Kreutzer on 4th, throwing down the middle, finds Alexander for the first down, and this drive will continue. The reliable Eugene Alexander. Kreutzer, the handoff to Cousins. And once again, Khalil Brown will not have any of that. Clapping as he makes his way back. On the other side of the line of scrimmage. Hand off to Cousins. Again, they are just being read like a book. Jorge Rivera. Kreutzer motioning. Another handoff to Cousins. He will be stopped essentially in the backfield by Atkins. Another 4th down as the clock is ticking its way down to almost 2 minutes. Shotgun formation, 4 receivers. Kreutzer dropping back under pressure. Couldn't get the first down intended for Westmoreland. Westmoreland, long name. Not sure where the emphasis is there. Weathers, the handoff to Collins. Not much of a gain. Another tackle by Montrell Douglas in the backfield, actually for a loss of 2. And Wichita will burn their first time out. Weathers motioning the fullback. Tossing it to Collins. Collins with no blockers. Get tackled by Conley after gaining 2. We are now at the 2-minute warning. And this game looks over. 97 all-purpose yards. He will pass 100. Probably right here. No. 4th down and 11. I spoke too soon. Tackle by Tristan Johnson. And they'll just, you know, put some icing on the cake. Make it a 3-score lead. And the field goal is good. 50-yarder. no doubt. Unlike Adam Ruppert, Casey Bueller is that guy. Bueller driving it all the way back to the goal line, and Braxton won't make it up to the 20. Great kickoffs here from the Memphis Liberty. That doesn't get shouted out a lot in professional football, but that's a great kickoff. Right where you need to be. Not a touchback, so you don't waste that, you know. But it's just where they need to bring it out, and then you trust your guys to get to the returner before he can do anything. Wichita will burn their final timeout here. Down by 16 with a minute and a half. And it is not looking good at all. Although Green will get that first down. Great catch by Kayvon Green. Free play here. Past the first, Braxton. And it wasn't offsides, but they will decline it. Great first down catch there by Malcolm Braxton. Braxton with an insane stat line. 4 receptions, 2 of them touchdowns. What a deep threat. Eugene Alexander being the short dish out guy. And Malcolm Braxton being the deep threat. You know, as an announcer, I'm up here in the booth. I can see their strengths. They just got to realize that they're on the field. Kayvon Green running a weird route there. Getting a first. He doesn't even know what happened. He looked a little slow to get up there. No huddle. Kreutzer dropping back out to the left, looking to stop the clock. And he will, as Eugene Alexander makes his way out of bounds. Looks like he wants to continue the streak of scoring over 20 points at least. Could have had that if not for the blatant miss by Adam Ruppert. Green put on his back by Ball. Tackle by Tremaine Ball. Clock's ticking, 20 seconds. Kreutzer will spike it. Next week, looks like Wichita will be at home, facing off against the St. Louis Sharks, who just saw a loss yesterday to the Virginia Beach Mariners. They are 3-2. Wichita will be 2-3 after today. And Memphis, who will be 2-3 as well, face off against Albuquerque, who actually plays up next, so don't miss that game. The River Monsters facing off against the Tucson Vipers in Tucson. Should be a great game ahead of us. And with 1 second to go on 4th down, Kreutzer will look to score, and no, he won't. Eugene Alexander will catch it, but for nothing. That's the game. I agree. Jalen Weathers is the player of the day, as the Liberty take the W here. Great defense today. You know, a lot of overall yards for both sides. Not a lot of sacks, just 1 sack. Only 1 turnover there. Of course, intercepted by Ball. I'd argue he's the defensive player of the day. We'll just cycle through the stats here. What a great game, as usual, here in the NAGA. We always have some, great action. A lot of people say they don't got time to sit down for an hour and watch the games. YouTube has a playback speed option of 2 times. Watch it with your meal. Watch the NAGA while you eat your lunch, eat your breakfast, or eat your dinner. Very exciting games like the one today. Or even more exciting, I really liked that Delaware Austin Stars game that I commentated last week. Go check that out from week 4. The Delaware Pioneers facing off against the Austin Stars. I won't spoil how it ends, but that was quite a game. And there you have it. Well, thank you for tuning in. Sincerely, from me, Reed Option, and the rest of the NAGA. And we will see you next time.